Welcome to the Mian Trade video guide on how to extract very up-to-date information on rules, taxes, procedures and requirements to abide by when exporting to EU countries. The database takes into account the specific situation for your product, as well as the conditions applicable to Myanmar under the EU's generalized scheme of preferences. To enter the tool, start from trade.ec.europa.eu/trade help. We can identify the regulations, rules and taxes applied to Myanmar cotton t-shirts in Germany, for example, using code number HS6109100010. In the main blue selector box, we first choose Myanmar, then the EU destination market, from our example, Germany, and finally the product. To select the product, you are advised not to insert your code, but to find and select it to be sure you have the correct code. To do that, click on the Find My Product Code button and scroll down to find which grouping of codes your product would belong to. For t-shirts, down in section 11, we find Textile and Textile Articles. By clicking on the plus button next to this section, we open up to more subgroupings. Further down, we find Knitted Article of Clothing. Therein we find t-shirts, and lastly, identify the code for cotton t-shirts. The leaf icon next to the code indicates we have found the final code, and now when we click on the item, the selection of this code is made, taking us back to the selection page. To see the details on this combination of exporter Myanmar, importing EU member state Germany, and product cotton t-shirts, we click on the View Rates and Requirements button. Then scroll down to a series of tabs with information, starting with Import Procedures, then Product Requirements, the EU import duties, followed by Internal Taxes, and on the fifth tab, Rules of Origin. Under Import Procedures, we can get general information on all the procedures, insight into all the documents for customs clearance, and details on the authorities concerned in the destination EU country, in this case Germany. The next tab covers the requirements that your product needs to comply to, such as restrictions on the use of certain chemical substances in textile and leather products. All rules related to how the product is labelled, herein specifying exactly what can or cannot be mentioned on the label of the product. The following tab covers the import duties applied across the EU to cotton t-shirts from Myanmar. The duty rate applied to Myanmar under GSP is 0%, whilst to third countries the duty amounts to 12%. In order to be eligible for the reduced GSP rate, the Myanmar exporter does need to abide by GSP Rules of Origin, for which more information can be found in the Rules of Origin tab. Eligibility for the lower GSP duty rate is determined by Rules of Origin to confirm the product did indeed originate from Myanmar. As is detailed in this tab, the fabric can be made elsewhere, but sewing of the garment needs to be confirmed to have taken place in Myanmar. Alternatively, If spinning or dyeing can be confirmed to have taken place in Myanmar, a certificate of origin can be acquired which will ensure eligibility for the preferential GSP duty rate. For further guidance on GSP and rules of origin, please refer to the GSP guide, which you can download from Trade's EU Trade HelpDesk webpage. Returning to the fourth tab to observe the Internal Taxes tab, we get details here on additional taxes that apply within the respective EU member market after the EU-wide import duty has been paid. In our Germany example case, the additional VAT equates to 19%. Note that these internal taxes differ per EU member state. By comparison, Hungary's VAT is 27%, which we can select by clicking on Modify Search, selecting Hungary, and once again on the View Rates and Requirements button. In short, the EU Trade HelpDesk is a very useful database to assist exporters to quickly navigate through the procedures, requirements and taxes that apply for their product from Myanmar in specific EU member state markets. Two further key aspects of value to consider are 1. That the database is very up-to-date, and 2. That we know with certainty that it is complete and can be assured that there are no more requirements beyond what is listed.